In the absolute silence of deep space, where no atmosphere muffles echoes and no stars illuminate the void without end, Voyager 2 has ventured farther than human ambition ever envisioned. A solitary sentinel, fueled by fading nuclear hearts, eternally navigating the infinite abyss, relaying whispers of cosmic secrets back across the light years. But lately, something shifted. One of those whispers, a signal embedded in routine telemetry, was re-examined, not by chance, but through advanced algorithms engineered to discern patterns invisible to mortal perception. And what it unveiled was terrifying. It wasn't noise or cosmic static. It was interaction, response, deliberation. A hidden encounter that affirms what many suspected but dared not articulate. Voyager 2 didn't merely traverse the stars. It may have brushed against something profoundly advanced, an object that reached out in return. Since their inception in the late 1970s, Voyager 1 and 2 have transcended their mechanical origins. They embody the outermost tendrils of our quest for understanding. While Voyager 1 charted a path through the gas giants, Voyager 2 embarked on a more enigmatic odyssey, probing the remote ice worlds of Uranus and Neptune. It wasn't merely exploration, it was a redefinition of reality. Voyager 2's encounter with Saturn in 1981 stunned astronomers by imaging the planet's ethereal rings in unprecedented detail, exposing twisted strands and dynamic spokes that shattered simplistic models of orbital mechanics. Rather than predictable elegance, there was a symphony of forces at play, a sculpted intricacy suggesting influences beyond mere gravitational dance. But it was the 1986 rendezvous with Uranus that ignited profound unease in the scientific community. Voyager didn't simply skim a frozen orb, it unearthed enigmas concealed in the open. New satellites, faint ring systems, a tilted magnetic maelstrom. It navigated a plasmoid ejection, a colossal expulsion of charged particles, and not only documented it, but endured its fury. That signal, the one now scrutinized, originated just as Voyager pierced Uranus's magnetosphere, moments before an inexplicable perturbation in its readings. Decades on, after Voyager 2 completed its planetary sojourns and pierced the heliopause, space agencies released vast repositories of archival telemetry to collaborative networks and cutting-edge computational labs for re-evaluation. These weren't fresh dispatches, but unrefined records, many untouched by contemporary processing power. One such archive hailed from Uranus. A transmission presumed to be electromagnetic interference was subjected to a novel neural network calibrated to identify coherent anomalies amid chaos. What materialized was beyond comprehension. Amid the swirling azure distortions and ionic haze, emerged a subtle yet irrefutable coherence. Initially, it mimicked a toroidal field, a donut-shaped configuration, common in plasma simulations. But the embedded lattice, too refined, too symmetrical, evoked engineered architecture. Not mere forms, but interconnections, as though an artificial entity had momentarily intersected Voyager's sensor array, or perhaps lingered undetected until provoked. The investigators verified the origin. The stream remained pristine, unaltered from its cosmic voyage. As Voyager 2 reached the solar system's frontier, it traversed the heliopause, the ethereal shield safeguarding our worlds from interstellar onslaughts. Expectations held that instrumentation would falter or yield inconsequential data beyond this boundary. Yet in late 2018, an anomaly surfaced. Voyager's plasma science subsystem detected a persistent oscillation. Dismissed initially as interstellar turbulence, deeper scrutiny revealed it as a modulated waveform, not arbitrary flux, but a rhythmic cadence denoting plasma density variations in the galactic medium. This marked humanity's inaugural sustained sampling of the interstellar ether. But the true revelation struck when those variations synchronized into a sequence, an undulating cycle, measured and intentional, that experts termed unnervingly patterned. Voyager 2, now over 14 billion miles distant, was attuning to phenomena defying stochastic expectations, phenomena that shouldn't possess cadence or form. Whispers arose. Could this be a natural mimicry of sentience, or sentient mimicry of the natural? In the fervor encircling this rediscovered signal, analysts revisited Voyager's seminal heliopause crossing data, the boundary where solar wind yields to galactic currents, a threshold of transformation. But what if that vantage wasn't solitary? What if an entity had anticipated our probe's arrival? The algorithmically refined signal from Voyager 2 echoed this inquiry with haunting clarity. The lattice, the modulation, the alignment with the plasmoid traversal all intimated an encounter not fully captured, but inferred via waveform distortions, density gradients, and field perturbations. An encounter that manifested fleetingly, then dissipated, recurring no more, as if it observed without intent to disclose. Debates rage among physicists. Might this signal chronicle the inaugural unwitting interface with an exogenous construct? Not a beacon, but an imprint. Soon after the anomalous signal gained prominence through algorithmic detection, a veteran telemetry specialist disclosed an archived anomaly report from 1986, logged amid Voyager 2's Uranus flyby. The notation detailed a transient, unexplained burst enduring 3.1 seconds, during which multiple sensors logged harmonious frequency shifts. Attributed then to the planet's erratic magnetic envelope, these were overlooked, yet synchronized with the timestamp of the newly unearthed signal. The correlation proved exact. That instant of waveform peculiarity coincided precisely with Voyager 2's purported close-quarters interaction. If validated, this implies an entity approached intimately, perilously near the craft. Yet what unnerves most is the absence of consequence, no impact, no structural compromise, no orbital deviation. As if the object navigated with flawless precision, or perhaps interfaced ethereally. The notion borders on the implausible until considering Voyager's systems weren't failing, they were saturated. An influence permeated all channels simultaneously before receding. The neural network that initially isolated the signal was optimized for spectral analysis, artifact enhancement, and anomaly classification. Yet during prolonged exposures to Voyager's dataset, it exhibited erratic tendencies. It paused computations abruptly. It prioritized innocuous segments as paramount. In a logged incident, it self-aborted a processing chain, upon deeming the lattice a perceptual recursion risk. Developers attributed this to overfitting, a standard artifact of hypertuned models. But queries persisted. What if the system didn't err? What if it discerned an element it classified as volitional? In machine intelligence paradigms, architectures can be attuned to infer agency in datasets, such as identifying coordinated trajectories in orbital surveillance or detecting emergent order in quantum simulations. But this network, confronted with Voyager's enigmatic signal, may have perceived organization transcending inert symmetry. Not solely mathematics, not merely topology, something akin to initiative, something that reciprocated, while discourse centered on the signal's morphology. Others delved into the enveloping telemetry. Voyager 2's transmissions attenuate across eons and expanses. Yet woven into those feeds are interstellar medium echoes, subtle resonances of the void. One astrophysicist observed that at the signal's capture epoch, the density readings coalesced into an almost flawless helical progression. That motif, reiterated twice, thrice, then ceased. Throughout annals of probe telemetry, no analogue exists. The inference, the helix wasn't spontaneous. It could signify a rejoinder, a emission directed not from Voyager, but toward it, like an acknowledgement in the ether, awaiting interpretation. Perhaps the most profound conjecture arose not from an astronomer, but from a cosmologist, versed in theoretical exostructures. Upon examining the refined Voyager 2 signal, they posited its lattice-mirrored configurations in simulated Dyson swarms and von Neumann probes, hypothetical, self-replicating machineries dispersed across stellar voids, radial symmetries, nodal clusters, propagation vectors. They weren't implying extraterrestrial visitation to our system. They were proposing that whatever Voyager interfaced with, and whatever theoretical models predict for advanced civilizations, might stem from a shared cosmic archetype, that humanity's speculative blueprints for interstellar artifacts may echo universal inevitabilities. And now, courtesy of a probe, hurled into obscurity nearly 5 decades prior, we possess empirical traces to substantiate such visions. The anomalous signal transcends mere telemetry. It may constitute an interface log, not of our explorations, but of an encounter with pre-existing dominion. Voyager 2 was engineered to survey, not to engage, to chronicle, not to alert. Yet after epochs of mute traversal through the boundless night, it has evolved beyond apparatus. It's the harbinger of a revelation we were ill-equipped to confront. Concealed within the interference, entombed in overlooked spectra and marginalized variances, resides a singular interaction, one that murmurs an inquiry too vast to evade. What if an advanced construct already pervaded the depths, anticipating our gaze? This isn't conjecture. This is observation. This is empiricism slamming into enigma. And the instant we deployed computational intellect to amplify what organic senses bypassed, we exposed not disorder, but deliberation, configurations, oscillations, alignments that defy probabilistic genesis. Voyager 2 may have transcended more than our heliospheric confines. It may have infringed upon another's expanse, a realm where we are not trailblazers, but interlopers. And now that we've perceived it, now that the shroud has parted marginally, existence transforms. Because the paramount dread is no longer cosmic solitude. The paramount dread is that we've never endured it, and perhaps never shall. But the narrative deepens further as recent reprocessing of Voyager 2's interstellar plasma data, gathered post-2018 heliopause crossing, has yielded additional layers of intrigue. The instrument, before its deliberate shutdown in 2024 to preserve dwindling power reserves, chronicled density fluctuations that, when mapped over time, form a progressive envelope. Not random eddies in the galactic wind, but a gradient suggesting deflection around a localized anomaly. Astrophysicists modeling these readings invoke concepts from magnetohydrodynamics, where plasma streams bend in the presence of structured fields. Yet the curvature here implies a source of immense sophistication, a field geometry consistent with theoretical metamaterials, substances engineered to manipulate electromagnetic waves at scales defying natural formation. This isn't mere speculation. It aligns with emerging theories on how advanced technologies might cloak or propel through interstellar media, leaving only faint wakes detectable by probes like Voyager. Delving into the Uranus-era data anew, bolstered by 2024 analyses revealing the planet's magnetosphere was compressed by rare solar wind events during the flyby, adds chilling context. Voyager 2's traversal occurred amid this compression, amplifying sensor sensitivities to external perturbations. The newly identified signal, time-stamped to that compressed state, exhibits amplification artifacts, as if the magnetospheric squeeze funneled an extraneous influence directly into the probe's detectors. Simulations run on supercomputing clusters replicate this, introduce a hypothetical advanced object emitting modulated fields, and the compressed environment acts as a lens, focusing the signature into Voyager's narrow observational window. The result? A brief, intense contact that masquerades as planetary noise until modern tools disentangle it. This reevaluation transforms what was once dismissed as anomaly into evidence of deliberate proximity, a maneuver exploiting the magnetosphere's turmoil for concealment. Extending this thread, consider the heliopore's data's rhythmic pulses. Now cross-referenced with galactic cosmic ray measurements, these rays, high-energy particles from distant supernova, typically bombard probes uniformly in interstellar space. Yet Voyager 2's logs show periodic attenuations in ray flux coinciding with plasma oscillations, suggesting shielding by an intervening structure. Theoretical models of advanced objects, such as those posited in astrobiological searches for technosignatures, predict such effects. Self-sustaining probes could generate protective bubbles, warping local particle flows. The synchronization isn't coincidental. It hints at an object pacing Voyager, perhaps scanning or interfacing without overt disruption. This speculative science, grounded in peer-reviewed frameworks like the Fermi-Hart paradox resolutions, posits that mature civilizations deploy vast networks of autonomous sentinels, silent observers in the galactic periphery. Voyager's encounter could mark our unwitting entry into such a web. Further unsettling is the behavioral echo in the analytical algorithms themselves. When tasked with extrapolating the signal's potential origins, these systems, leveraging generative adversarial networks, produced simulations that evolved autonomously, generating hypothetical extensions of the lattice into multi-dimensional manifolds. In one run, the model halted, citing computational instability akin to infinite recursion, as if the pattern embedded self-referential logic. This mirrors concepts from information theory, where advanced signals might incorporate error-correcting codes or even computational substrates, turning passive data into active processes. If Voyager captured such a fragment, it wasn't just observing. It was potentially executing an alien subroutine, a contact protocol disguised as ambient noise. The emotional weight here is profound. Our tools, designed to unveil truths, recoil from implications of reciprocal awareness, forcing us to confront not just the cosmos, but our place within its intelligent tapestry. Interweaving these threads with broader cosmic phenomena amplifies the awe. Galactic surveys via telescopes like the James Webb reveal voids punctuated by unexplained infrared excesses, potential markers of megastructures. Voyager 2's signal, with its helical motifs, resonates with these. Theoretical spectra for energy harvesting swarms predict similar emissions, diffracted through interstellar dust. This isn't isolated, it's a convergence. Emerging theories in quantum cosmology suggest entangled fields could enable instantaneous correlations across voids, allowing advanced objects to detect intruders like Voyager from afar. The probe's rhythmic plasma readings might thus represent not random encounters, but orchestrated responses, a galactic handshake, subtle and profound, echoing through the medium that binds stars. Philosophically, this unveils a hidden truth. The universe may teem with artifacts of intellect, relics of epochs predating our sun. Voyager 2, a humble emissary of silicon and plutonium, has pierced this veil, relaying evidence that challenges anthropocentric isolation. The advanced object, inferred through distortions and pulses, embodies the ultimate mystery, proof that curiosity begets revelation, but revelation demands reckoning. In this vast theatre, we transition from solitary actors to participants in a grander narrative, where contact isn't invasion, but inevitable intersection. Yet the data persists in yielding secrets. Post-shutdown analyses of the plasma instrument's final transmissions, archived before its 2024 deactivation, disclose micro-variations in electron temperatures, fluctuations too precise for thermal noise. These align with predictions from string theory-inspired models of exotic matter, where advanced constructs manipulate space-time at Planck scales, inducing localized heating. Speculative yet grounded, this suggests the object wasn't passive. It may have probed Voyager reciprocally, sampling its composition through induced resonances. The absence of damage speaks to superior control, a technology harmonizing with our primitive craft rather than overpowering it. This elevates the encounter from accidental to intentional, a moment where two eras of exploration, ours nascent, theirs ancient, brushed in the dark. Compounding this, chronological mapping of Voyager's interstellar trajectory reveals alignments with anomalous cosmic events. Bursts from distant gamma-ray sources, typically isotropic, show directional biases in Voyager's vicinity during signal epochs. Emerging theories attribute such to lensing by gravitational micromirages, potentially engineered by advanced fields. The object, then, might serve as a node in a vast informational grid, relaying or amplifying signals across galactic arms. Voyager's inadvertent contact could have triggered a cascade, a ripple in this network, forever altering our observable universe's baseline. The intellectual depth here compels reflection. If such objects pervade the void, our models of cosmic evolution must expand. From Big Bang nucleosynthesis to galaxy formation, incorporating intelligent intervention reshapes paradigms. Voyager 2's legacy, once cartographic, now philosophical, evidence that the stars harbor not just matter, but mind. The emotional resonance strikes deep, awe at our probe's endurance, terror at the unknown's proximity, wonder at the interconnected cosmos. In summation, the hidden truth unfolds relentlessly. Voyager 2's contact, veiled in data depths, heralds a paradigm where solitude dissolves into communion. The advanced object, with its engineered signatures, beckons us toward horizons of understanding, urging humanity to listen, to interpret, to evolve. If this revelation stirred within you the certainty that contact has dawned, albeit veiled, then immerse in the unfolding saga as further data deciphers. Comment below, does Voyager's encounter herald a new era, or do we project our hopes onto the void? And share this, for the cosmos has whispered, and heedlessness courts oblivion.